But you and I talked about that a long time ago. And anyway, I would love you to do something. And I think it'll be so good for you and so big for you. And we're going to win. We're going to win. You know, we're way ahead of the guy.
That was a leaked video of a conversation between Robert F. Kennedy Jr. and Donald Trump. And we just learned what else they've discussed privately in recent weeks, thanks to new reporting from the Washington Post. Kennedy Jr., who is currently running for president as an independent, has proposed dropping out of the race and endorsing Trump in exchange for a position in Trump's administration should he win in November. But what role was Kennedy seeking? Robert F. Kennedy held talks this month with former President Donald Trump about endorsing his campaign and taking a job in the second Trump administration, overseeing a portfolio of health and medical issues, according to 4 people familiar with the matter. Their discussions included possible jobs that Kennedy could be given in a second Trump administration, either at the cabinet level or posts that do not require Senate confirmation. The discussion also included the prospect of Kennedy leaving the race and endorsing Trump, the people said. To many normal people, a notable anti-vaxxer like RFK Jr. overseeing health and medical issues in a potential Trump administration would raise eyebrows. But it also did for Trump's team. They had a similar reaction. The discussions surprised Trump and his allies, but there were concerns among some Trump advisors that Kennedy, a fervent critic of vaccines, would not be appropriate in such a job, and that such an agreement could be problematic, the people said. 2 of these people did not rule out the campaign eventually wanting Kennedy in the fold or potentially giving him a job in the administration if Trump wins. Now, their discussion ended without a definitive conclusion amid concerns in Trump's orbit about the complications of proposing a job in exchange for a political endorsement. But this isn't the first time that Kennedy sought a job from Trump in his administration. Kennedy met with him in 2016 and 2017 in Trump Tower in Manhattan to discuss vaccine safety. He asked me to chair a commission on vaccine safety and scientific integrity, Kennedy said after the meeting. And of course, that position never materialized, like many of Trump's claims and promises. But Brett, what do you make of this now? Kennedy is running as an independent. He could pull from Harris. He could pull from Trump. Trump has clearly attacked him on his views. He understands the potential spoiler role that Kennedy could play this November. But what do you make of him calling and offering an endorsement in exchange for a role?
I think what it implies that scares Trump is that actually Kennedy's going to be stealing votes from Trump more than he is from Harris. My big question is what happens now that Biden's out of the race. I think a lot of folks were like, I don't know, I don't like Trump, I don't like Biden. I know the name Kennedy. And it also tells me that Kennedy doesn't care about this presidency at all. He doesn't care about running for president and leading the nation in any way, shape, or form. It seems like he's in it for a job. Any job, I'll take any job.
The video will continue in just a moment, but first I have a message for you. TYT needs your help. Membership is vital to survival, so please go to tyt.com/team and become a member today.
Yeah, RFK has a history of being an environmental activist, and then there's all this weird vaccine stuff that he does. And sure, someone contributing to the discourse on it, I'm fine for folks from all sides of the argument, but I just don't think that RFK Jr. quite has what it takes to be in charge of pretty much anything, let alone the country, let alone like the vaccine future of America. And I don't think Trump's going to be happy to accept that kind of criticism because it is Trump's vaccine. He's the one who came up with it. He's the one who proudly fast-tracked it into existence. And he's trying to wave his hand and Jedi mind trick people into finding some way to believe that A, vaccines are bad because they think vaccines are bad, and B, think Trump is good even though Trump created the vaccine.
Yeah, I would not be surprised that if they do reach an agreement, Trump does not fulfill his end of the bargain, which is to give him a role. I could see him gleefully saying, oh yeah, endorse me, I'll give you something, knowing that Kennedy would no longer have any leverage. And I think, like you say, Trump isn't as crazy on vaccines. I mean, there's some elements of that call earlier in the video that we didn't show you where he is making ludicrous claims about the effects of the COVID vaccine, saying he only wanted small doses because people were getting large doses. Just bananas stuff. But they recognize that one of his stronger arguments about his record was being president while the vaccine for COVID was researched and developed. So I don't think they would want him super close. I think they're really just concerned about getting him out of the race because he would play a spoiler. He has no mathematical path to victory. Everyone has been saying that. The only person that doesn't seem to recognize that is him. I also don't think, like you say, it's a very serious quest for him. He just wants the profile. He wants the opportunity. He wants to maybe leverage it into something else. But if he makes a deal with Trump, I mean, just ask many of the business clients who have ever done with Trump. The guy has a reputation for not fulfilling his end of the bargain. So on that front, maybe it's worth just and hoping they reach a deal just so he gets out of the race, because the guy's a lunatic.
This just reeks of deep state phone calls, doesn't it? It sounds like what if I were a Trump supporter, I'd be terrified is happening behind the scenes. These people saying, I will drastically affect the outcome of the presidential election in exchange for you giving me a job. Like, this is the stuff that I thought Trump got in there to get rid of. And here he is complicit in very gross, swampy, deep statey activities, he said with a straight face.
Yeah, I mean, they're not going to care. I know you know that, but like, it is kind of ridiculous. That's how it works. I was thinking earlier how similar just that sort of arrangement feels to the 2020 primary. You had candidates performing better than Biden who suddenly dropped out through their support behind him, and lo and behold, people like Pete Buttigieg have a cabinet role. You think the mayor of South Bend, Indiana, is qualified for Secretary of Transportation? And many argued no, but he got that role. Many felt it was because he dropped out, got out of the way, and helped consolidate behind Biden to defeat Bernie. So it happens. This isn't a unique circumstance, but it is interesting to see this conversation definitively reported out with multiple sources and a phone call on tape of one of those discussions. So we'll see. We'll be following it closely.
Thanks for watching our video. Did you know that you can support our show by becoming a subscriber? Just click the subscribe button and also ring the bell so that you get notifications when we're live or when we post new content.